There's already been so many fireworks, and we've only played 2 episodes of the session.
The guy Wonka right there, he hasn't been on the good end of the fireworks. He hasn't gotten to play much. The one hand he really did play, he got stacked in, so maybe that won't happen this time.
Perhaps, at least.
No guarantees, though, because Ken is going to play, and Ken stacks everybody. Look, Ken already has $4,000 in front of him. He started with $1,500. It's just like last time, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is on such a heater on this show. But he also did have Wonka shove so many blinds into him. So many. 150 blinds with 10s pre-flop, which is not something you normally see someone do.
And then Ken had aces and decided to not fold.
And decided to, in a gentlemanly way, take Wonka's money.
Yes.
Anyway, there's a good flop for Ken.
Once again.
Good flop for Terminator also with the flush draw.
Yes.
That's about it. Wonka should probably not be worried about putting any. He's probably just not going to put any more money in, I would think.
Terminator's just going to lead straight out for less than half the pot.
It's going to be an easy fold for Wonka, an easy call for Ken. There it is.
Marty can't call, right?
Well, Marty can do whatever he wants, but I think usually even Marty folds here.
The Marty Matrix is going to find a fold.
Let's see how long he takes, though, because you know it's painful. There it is. Little head nod.
Can't flop a set every time, Marty. Can't flop a set every time. Some people get really upset when they don't flop a set.
This is not like a great card to continue on. Terminator checks. Ken checks it right back.
Yep.
I think on this brick, we should probably bet as Terminator and hope that Ken has clubs or King Jack.
He picked
right?
up showdown value. He has a 6.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Terminator checked already. You can't see it. There's a 6 on the river. Terminator checked, and Ken is bet.
Yep, that's reasonable. And now we have to pray he has one of those drawing hands. But at least he can have that, right? And we've seen him bluff.
Would you bluff catch here? Terminator does.
I don't know.
Terminator decided to.
I'm not sure if I would or not. Would you?
I don't think I would. But there are missed clubs, and there's missed King
Yeah.
Jack. Those are
all the draws miss. 8-9 got there.
Yes, it did.
Which is a reasonable draw. If that was the 6 of clubs, I would fold.
Yeah, I think I probably
we
fold.
have the 6 of clubs, though.
We have a lot better bluff catchers in our range.
That is true. That's really true, actually, based on the way this hand played out. This is actually one of the worst hands we're ever going to be able to check call.
It's also really bad to have a flush draw that turns into a pair as a bluff catcher. That removes a lot of the combos that Ken could have that are bluffs.
It's true, but at least we have the 6 and the 3 of clubs. Those are less likely when he calls
True.
a raise under the gun +1 for his club draws. But it doesn't knock out some of them. You're right. Basically just the ace-X of clubs and like maybe 7-6 of clubs.
Snuggy's going to bump it up with the ace-jack.
Marty looks like he's playing. He's got a real hand.
Definitely has a real hand. He's going to 3-bet it.
Sure, I like it. Good play, Marty.
Said he called, but that's not true.
It's a lie. Don't believe his lies.
Whose?
Lenny's? No. What's Lenny's friend saying?
What are you talking about?
Memento. Don't believe his lies. That's what Lenny writes on the thing for Joey Pants.
Joey Pants!
You love that guy.
I just like calling him Joey Pants.
Hey, Lenny. That's a great movie. All right. So Snuggy's going to call with the ace-jack in trouble.
Big trouble.
It's not insane against the way that people 3-bet in this game to call with ace-jack here.
No, not at all.
Traditionally, this would not be a good call.
And look at the flop. The anti-Marty flop. Marty hates this flop.
See if Marty decides to check and just give up right away. He does.
He does. He checks it.
Give up is the wrong word, I should say, but not to put more chips in.
That's another bad card. Now anything on the board beats Marty.
Snuggy's got to be pretty sure he's almost always ahead unless Marty is slow playing.
Snuggy bets and Marty, that's not a call.
Whoa.
That he just min-raised. He's repping like aces or kings full now.
Super weird play there. I assume he's going to check back this river now.
I think he's trying to bluff an ace or a king off by repping aces full or something like that. I think that's his plan.
Wow, he is going to bet again.
This is definitely a bluff. And
Snuggy
Snuggy
calls
already
fast.
called.
He's hoping... He's probably hoping for a chop, but now he gets the incredible news. Wow, what a strange way to play that hand.
Last episode, we were talking about how Marty's reputation can get him paid sometimes when he has a big hand. It also makes it a lot harder to get a bluff like that through.
Yeah, and I think if I'm Marty, I would want to, because of my reputation, I'd want to take medium strength hands like that and not turn them into bluffs.
Yeah.
Like, you could decide to go call against Snuggy and lose a lot if you want, but I think turning that hand into a bluff there when we're just bluffing so much of the time is probably a bad idea. Like, just take worse hands. And, like, you know, you're going to 3-bet with worse hands a lot. Like, take those hands and turn them into bluffs.
I think there was an entitlement tilt factor to that bluff for Marty.
I will say it sure looks strong. I could see myself talking myself into folding because it looks so strong when he plays the hand that way.
Yeah, the min raise is super strong looking.
But now that I've seen that, I could never fold to this guy.
No. You could already probably never fold to Marty when you had top pair.
Right. That would have been a pretty good candidate.
Yeah.
With the check back, min raise, big bet on the river.
It was a reasonable representation of a full house, but at the same time, it's Marty.
Right. And as we see, he turns up with one of the hands I would never think was possible he could turn up with, which would be
Right.
two jacks there.
Ken's going to put in a big 3-bet here, it looks like.
That's probably just going to do it unless Austin gets sticky on the button.
How much is it? 150. Austin could
Well-
could certainly call if it's folded to him. He's going to be getting a pretty decent price here.
Also, they're both deep enough. He's supposed to call.
Yeah, they're super deep. I just realized that. You're right.
Yeah.
4.2K effective stack. Yeah. 8-9 of clubs you have to call.
Yeah, absolutely. On the button. This should play pretty straightforward for Austin, too. He's just worried about making one pair of hands.
Well, that's a action killer. This was a potential like gigantic pot in the making, but
Yeah.
not anymore.
Austin might call once. It might float on the button with two back doors.
Yeah, you'd like to have an overcard at least with the 2 back doors.
You're not really worried about Ken having very many tens, though. The overcard doesn't play as much as, but he's just going to let it go. That's fine. I think he played it just fine. I like the way Ken played it as well.
Looks like Wonka's adding some more chips to give to Ken.
It's funny the way Wonka decides to do it, which is he puts the chips in front of him.
Yeah, what's that?
It's like
about?
a weird, slow process thing. It's
Yeah.
like, just give him the chips, man. You don't have to make him wait. It's weird. But again, look at their shirts. I mentioned this in the last episode. Wonka's like the modern version of Ken's shirt.
I don't know why you keep saying
I
that.
feel it's very clear.
I just noticed that Batiste's jacket is not entirely denim. The collar is leather, and that is probably why he got kicked out of his denim cult.
Yeah.
The leather collar.
He was,
is
of course, the leader of it. Not surprising.
Yeah, but he got a little bit too radical with the leather collar.
Yeah. You can only push those people so far in cults.
Yeah.
Hey, Turner's got Grant's favorite hand, ace-9 off.
Gonna call. Snuggy's got a real hand here. Everybody else has a not so real hand. Marty's queen-9 suited is a pretty nice hand.
Yep. It's at least.
Ken's got a
There we
good
go.
hand
Ken actually has the best hand.
and the most equity.
Yep. Well, there's kings and aces out there, so they sort of take each other's outs away. Marty flops best. Well, that's not true. I say no. Marty flops.
Is Ken
best.
gonna find a way to win anyway? Hank is gonna bet with ace-3.
Well, he's got a pair and two back doors.
Backdoor nut flush draw.
Back-
Snuggy's gonna call with his gutter. Marty's definitely gonna call with the queen-9. What?
I'm curious about that.
Ken just called.
Wow.
Ken just called with 2-8s. What's happening?
Wow.
There's already a bet and 2 calls.
Ken is just so used to winning at this point.
That was
I
very
love to see
strange.
Ken win without hitting a queen.
Now there's a jack.
Without hitting an 8 here.
Oh
Whoa!
my goodness.
He is trying to win, and he's got a chance right now to win this.
This is a great representation of a jack.
It is. Now, the problem is Marty has got the queen, and Marty's going to be last to act 2. I don't see how Marty's ever going to fold. But it is a great representation.
Do you think Ken was planning on bluffing when he
I
called
don't
there?
know.
If so, why?
I feel like he called and then realized what the heck just happened. He's like, uh-oh. And then the jack came. He's like, well, maybe this is my way out. I don't know.
This is bananas. The Ken matrix is another matrix I'd like to learn a little bit about.
Marty doesn't know what to do. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't know what to do there. I think I would fold here. I would fold here.
It looks a lot like a jack.
I would fold. Also, what's my kicker anyway? Like,
Oh, he's calling.
Marty's also relatively short at this point, so this is tough to get Marty to fold. He's only got 525 left. I don't think you should try.
Is Ken gonna go for it though? I don't know.
On a brick, and that's
King on the river.
sort of a brick. He's gonna go for it.
So Ken's basically saying I have jack 10.
Here's the thing: Marty's kicker no longer plays, which is good for him.
Yeah.
But Jack 10, King Jack, those hands make sense for Ken to have right here.
And Ken is giving Marty a great price. He's getting 5-1.
It really looks like he has it. Ken is doing
and
that
Marty
is a
folds.
fantastic job of Ken looking like trip jacks.
I mean, I do actually like it, and he shows it.
Wow, he knows he's bluffing.
Yeah, he does.
Wow, this guy's got more moves than you would expect.
I mean,
That was a move.
I do like the way he played the turn in the river once he got there, but the flop was kind of insane.
It was kind of insane, but at least as soon as the opportunity like availed itself to him.
Yeah.
He pounced on it in a way that usually people don't in this game.
That is true. However, 3 other players voluntarily put money in the pot on the flop. They just happened to have pretty weak hands for the situation. I mean, he got pretty lucky that worked. Other players can have jacks, Like, he's not blocking a jack.
I'm aware of all this
Yeah.
for sure.
That was an ambitious play that worked out.
It was unbelievable. That guy is he's just got to feel bulletproof,
He really does.
He's like, I'm Jimmy Hoffa up in here.
That guy's...
You don't tell me what to do.
Totally.
I tell you what to do. Marty just moved in with 2 8s.
Yep.
Snuggy's probably going to have to call this, right? Against Marty?
Marty
I think
just
you have
moved
to
in
call.
52 blinds with 2 8s.
This is a pretty clear call, I think.
Yep.
Snuggy's already got the call in his hand.
He's
what?
He's making sure that it's not too much.
Yeah, which is fair. Making sure it's like 1,200, but this is an easy call against Marty's range for sure.
And he does it. We're going to have a tournament-style flip here.
Yeah. Just get, 100 blind pot. No problem with these hands. And good flop for the Snugs. El Snugatory.
Snugulation.
Sir Snugulus.
And Marty misses it all.
Yes, indeed. Marty gets up. You see he left his coat or his jacket or whatever.
He's
that
going to
is.
get more money.
Of course he is. Snuggy picks up some money.
Snuggy all of a sudden having a pretty good session after that pot.
Yeah, I think he's one of the guys who hasn't rebought.
No, he hasn't. He bought in for 2K. He's definitely up from that.
Oh, yeah, clearly. This has been, one of the... sometimes we have really exciting cash games, and then at the end of the day, not many people are up or down. That has not been the case this time.
No, so far. Although we don't know. There's still many hours to go.
Of course, but there has been significant bloodletting,
Yes,
which I like to see.
Yes, there has. Wonka's rebought and Marty is rebought. Has anybody else
I
rebought?
think Terminator's reloaded.
Oh, and I think Austin also reloaded.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things that have happened in this game. And, we want to see blood in the streets, That's what we're all about here.
Yeah, I mean,
The gore.
the gladiators were very popular.
Yes. Also popular, this felt.
It's gray.
So let's just spend some more time on the felt before we look at
It's
the players.
gray.
Yep.
There's a player.
All right, there's a player. He doesn't have cards, but there's Wonka. It's going to fold. But we see the player with the hand. That's exciting for us. That's a big step forward technologically.
We did it. Batiste with a good button open.
Quick call from Hank. I'm going to guess King 8.
Ace
Oh,
10. Pretty good hand, actually.
Yeah.
Snuggy getting in there. Nice flop for Batiste, kind of.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a nice flop. It's fine.
Hank's got a gut shot. I like Hank playing this hand as a check raise. I think that would be a pretty good play.
Agreed. And I really like Batiste betting here.
Yes. Hank does just call. I really would have liked a check raise
I
there
think on a brick, Batiste should really bet the turn.
because Hank doesn't have many kings. Oh, that's not a
Wow,
brick.
That's not a brick.
Hank got there a lot of the time with
Queen
the
10.
Queen 10, Ace Jack, Ace 3 type hands.
Yeah. We could bet, but there's so little to get called by now. Probably plays better as a check back. We have got a great kicker. We have a gut shot. It's fine to check it. But we probably, do we call if he bets the river?
Did you just say Batiste doesn't have a great kicker?
No, I didn't say that. No, I
Oh.
said no. I'm saying his kicker plays is what I'm
Ah.
saying. It's not an easy spot here.
I think
still
it's a good fold.
Ken has shown up with, Hank has shown
You
up with
got to get those guys right, man.
I'm working on it. Hank has shown up with some weird hands, though, in these exact spots before. He shows
Yeah.
up, he bets and shows up with like 2 8s or something.
There
like
weren't really any draws that missed there, except for 9-10, I guess.
He might. Sometimes he's even betting a 3. Sometimes he's betting a jack there.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it. I don't know. I don't know if that's a fold. Normally that's a fold, but I don't know against Hank if that's a fold.
I hear what you're saying.
It's just based on our knowledge of Hank, though.
It was a kind of a big bet too, though.
Yeah.
I think it's okay just to fold and move on to the next one.
Batiste has to think about what other hands does he have here that he plays like this,
Yeah.
and where does the Queen Jack fit in that whole matrix, as you would say, because you love that.
Why you like that?
I don't know what you mean. So we have 2 interesting limps, unexpected. I expect Wonka, though, to get in on this limping action.
We got
Uh-oh.
super limpy time.
Is this family pot time? We're this close to a family pot.
I think we're gonna have a family pot unless Marty blows it up.
Marty's been known to blow things up.
He just checks.
Wow, we did it. This is
Sometimes
whack.
it's 600 pre,
$80 in the pot, 8 players in the hand.
Why did Austin not raise the King Jack over the limp? I'm surprised.
I don't know. I guess he wanted to see a flop.
Yeah. Batiste with trips.
Yep. He's really
Marty?
the only guy with
No,
anything.
That is it, huh?
Batiste just checks it.
Gives everyone one shot to improve.
Well, Batiste now has a full house, and so many sevens are out there.
there are 3 sevens. There's 3 open enders. Wow.
There's actually there's 4 because Hank has Jack 10.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Wow, and they're all drawing dead.
Is Batiste going to raise or call here?
This is pretty interesting. That everyone else's cards and
He
things
just calls.
they're all grayed out because only Batiste can win.
Yeah.
That's so weird with this many hands left.
Batiste is just thinking no 9, no 9, no 9.
Right.
But little
An
does
8
he know.
an
And
8
Batiste
also.
would absolutely fold on a 9 if somebody bet into that many players.
I agree. And actually, an 8 isn't a problem. He's got an 8 in his hand. He'd still have 8s full. That's
Hank has a straight now, although it brings a flush. So
I think he's
it's
going to have to probably pay this off, though.
I don't know when Batiste
Well, into all
does
these
bet
people.
this into all these
Yeah.
people. And did he just bet 300 into 290?
He
He
did.
did. I think you can fold
Yeah,
Jack 10.
I agree.
It's a flush card.
It's a flush card. He bet into the whole world. He didn't have to do that.
Batiste often has a flush instead of a full house.
And
but
when he has a straight, you're chopping anyway. There's not that much to win. You're putting 300, hoping to win 150, really. And yeah.
yeah, I
Who
don't
thinks he
think
won? I think Hank
think
thought he won.
Batiste is ever betting just trip sixes there for 300 into that many players.
I think you're right. Well, he's usually going to bet trip 6s on the turn. Or no, I guess someone else bet that on the turn.
Yeah,
But good spot there for Batiste.
nice pot.
Yep. If that wasn't the Queen of Hearts, if that was a different suit, it's possible Hank would have even raised.
It's possible he would have.
It's a reasonable raise.
I don't know.
I mean, the problem with the raise is you're only usually getting called by the same or better, right? That's the problem.
That's yeah.
That's what makes it not as good. Yeah, that's not super great.
No, it's not.
I guess if Hank could have heart, no.
When
whatever.
Batiste bets over pot, also.
Yeah, you're right. That's really bad. Into the whole world, just really bad.
I think that's the first reasonable pot Batiste has won so far.
He won. Yeah, that's the first significant pot.
Yeah.
He won that nut flush pot like in episode 1 also. It's like he's got a real hand, and it's gonna make Hank pay to get in there, which I'm sure Hank will.
Marty
take him
will
up
get
on.
in there.
Terminator says no with the King 9. I got to tell you, I'm surprised.
Maybe he's tired.
For a second, I thought Hank was going to fold, which
That's
seems absurd
not
and
happening.
impossible.
No chance. Jack 8 of Diamonds is the hand he won a massive pot with at the end of like 2 sessions ago against Action Aaron
That's right.
and Blake.
Can't believe
Yeah.
you didn't go for it on the
3-way all in to get him back to even at the last hand, I think.
Yep, the very last hand.
We got gut shots and we got the nut flush draw.
Great spot for the snug. All snug all the time, but looks like Hank. Oh no, okay, Hank was just checking there.
Snuggy needs the 7 of clubs. That would be an incredible card for
You
him.
see how fast Marty called? Marty called so fast the camera didn't get there, and the chips are already
And
out.
Hank,
And like,
Hank overcalls here with the 8.
yeah, these guys are. The 7 of clubs would be a bad card for these two guys.
Why? Why?
That is a brick.
Marty checks.
Snuggy decides to check. I don't know why he would check that. That's a good card for his range.
And-
so is this.
Snuggy's somehow still ahead, even though he's bricked everything. And Marty's gonna bet, and you know
This
what?
is gonna
It's
work.
gonna work, right?
Yeah. You got to turn your hand into a bluff to get him off it. That's for sure. You're gonna have to put. The only thing you can do is raise here. It turns out you're good, but you'd never flat here.
And it's gonna work. And it does.
Marty, I love you. I do.
That's Batiste expressing his love for Marty since Marty just bluffed and showed it against Snuggy right before the break there.
This is great. Everyone's showing their bluffs. We have all this crazy pre-flop action. It's been a lot of fun. I'm talking about this course the whole session, not just this episode, but it's great to see these guys like just mix it up. It's like a cage match. With
It's like
8
a
guys.
cage match, Jonathan.
Like 8 guys, man.
You should be a UFC promoter.
I would like to be.
You get that Don King hair.
I'm in it. I want to do it.
I'm in it.
I want to do that. I want to go to there.
Looks like we got some action here that we are thus
Ignoring?
far unaware of. We're thus far unaware of it.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know what anyone has, but there are people who have called.
We know there's limping that's been happening.
Dead calls. Marty calls.
a lot of thinking going on, apparently. Hank, I think, was the first one in, right?
Yep. Jack deuce of hearts.
And there's Snuggie with the 7-4 off.
also
Sure.
called. Marty with the 10-3. Oh, why not?
Has to wait.
Wow, so it's in the Marty chart
Yep.
this time. The thing is, the Marty chart changes every moment.
Yes, it does. It's
Okay.
a moving chart. I mean, you can't.
Austin raises it up.
Okay.
It's over.
It's just over.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
You can't exploit the Marty chart because it changes every hand. That's the thing.
Well-
If you can't, Marty can't just have his chart be standard and let everybody know about it over time. You get enough data on Marty, you know exactly what he has every time.
I just like to say, I think if the Marty chart changes every time, we can still exploit it. Just between you and me.
You think so?
I believe there are still maybe some holes in that chart, at times at least. It depends on what the chart looks like at any moment.
There can't be holes in it. It's digital.
There's no digital holes now. Okay, Magellan.
Magellan.
All right, Batiste with the real hand. We know he's playing this. He hasn't played very many.
Raise 35. Fold. Fold.
You found one to fold to me?
There's your call from the 9-5
9-5 off. That's in the Terminator chart.
Yeah.
Terminator's chart might change more widely than Marty's chart.
No,
Like-
that's crazy.
no, I'm saying Marty's chart is always very wide, but sometimes Terminator folds hands you wouldn't expect him to.
Okay, that's true. That's a good point.
So I think there's more variability in the range size.
They're both pretty, chunky.
Well, Batista's going to c-bet. It's a favorable flop for his range, and he's just going to win.
Yep. Nice to see bet when you open this hand and just get to take it down when you whiff so hard.
It's the best feeling in the world, Jonathan.
Really?
Second
Better than-
only to watching a sunset and drinking a 7-Eleven Slurpee. not a sponsor.
And I thought you were going to talk about like the first time you hold your child's hand.
I don't know anything about that.
But you could
I
guess
can just
about
guess.
it. You could make
That's
a
offensive to
supposition.
parents. I think that's probably offensive
It's
to parents.
offensive?
Yeah,
Why would that be offensive?
because you're like saying you understand their experience without having had it.
I do understand their experience.
Oh, really? Do you?
Yeah, of course I do.
So
It's not like everyone understands
So
it.
you now have a kid, even though you don't?
I don't have a kid. Hey, we got a hand brewing here. Let's make jokes later.
No, shut up. I wanna
Whoa,
talk about
this was. Oh, it wasn't a click.
Marty
back.
made it 50, and Terminator did click it back.
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
90 would be a click back, but it's small race with two kings. He's trying to keep all of the Marty chart involved, I guess.
Well, he's keeping the Hank chart in there.
Hank is going to set mine here.
I don't know if anyone's really deep enough to pull that off, but he's going for it. Marty can't fold.
No, certainly not.
He's going to make a very reasonable call here. And Terminator just has to dodge just a few things.
With almost 2/3 the equity. That's pretty nice when you're only 1/3 of the players.
Indeed. Got up a lot bigger now. He picked up 17% there. Everyone's drawing very thin, and I have to believe Terminator continue. Whoa.
Marty's just messing with his
okay.
stuff. He already checked.
Terminator's certainly going to win this right now unless someone loses their mind, which these guys have been known to do.
They have been known to do it once or twice, but I think this time this is just going to get through. I think Hank already folded.
Well,
No,
it says,
Hank
Hank called.
called.
It says Hank called, even though we can't see him.
He did not.
Okay.
That's a lie.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, threes is not a hand that you really want to be getting too involved in there.
And there's a lot of stuff that's being worked on, but
I think
I got to believe Marty
Terminator
folded
just
too, right?
won the hand.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to watch that flop just keep popping up
No,
like that.
it's a technological marvel is what it is, and that's exciting.
Yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit. For now, we can talk about how Hank can hurt all of you and that you shouldn't mess with him.
You know how there's the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah,
This guy's the Incredible Hank.
that's pretty good.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? I'm
Yeah.
gonna start. Maybe if he keeps playing, I think that should be his name from now on, the Incredible Hank.
It's too big for the little box, though.
Oh, you know what? We'll talk to one of our tech guys about that.
How is he going to fix that?
He's gonna make the box bigger or the letters smaller.
So
or
every
something.
time
It's not
Hank's
my
in the
problem.
pot, it's going to take up like an eighth of the screen with his hand?
I don't know. It's not my problem. Like, let's go. He's the Incredible Hank.
Looks like we finally got it sorted out there. I think we're figuring this one out. You can see the Batiste shirt under his jacket isn't even denim either. So
Yeah, it's a real betrayal.
yeah.
Just saying.
There are denim shirts out there, you know.
Yeah, it's not that hard to find them. Batiste, there's the internet little thing.
You know what's a real rarity? It's a denim T-shirt, just like a T-shirt made of denim.
Yes.
You don't see that too often.
No, but if anyone has him in his closet, you're looking at that guy right there. He's standing up. He's got a beard and a ponytail.
I'm getting word that we're working this out, and it's
Yeah.
going to be fixed pretty soon here.
Good, because
Marty, what did you rebuy for?
you know these technological issues, man.
I mean, we only have so much to talk about with the denim and the Hank hurting people and all of those things.
Yeah, these violent lives come to violent ends.
Well, there's the sponsor right there, Nitrogen Sports.
We love them, and they love you. Get involved. Hey, here we go. All right, looks like we're getting back to it. I'm sure Nitrogen loved that we said that.
Yeah.
I'm the big one.
They should look at the size of that thing. Still not sure what that logo really is. Is that an N or is it something else? Tag your tweets.
Hank blind raised and ended up with Ace Jack. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw that he didn't even have a second card by the time the raise was in, so I'm pretty sure he was totally blind to his cards when he made the raise. And Snuggy's going to just essentially limp with Queen 7 essentially under the gun.
Yeah. Marty's going to continue the limping train with the 6-5
This
off.
is
They
a
are
great
both black.
This is a great spot for Austin to raise.
Yep. Put in a nice big one right here.
She can't.
Only because of the blind raise, of course. I don't.
Yeah.
If Hank had actually raised to 30 under the gun, I wouldn't think that. But it looks like he just called.
Austin's like, what?
A great spot for Wonka to raise now.
Yeah, I feel like.
And he just calls.
Did these guys know that it was a blind race? Because I would expect Wonka would have bumped that up normally.
I don't think Austin would have called Ace-8 off if he thought it was an actual
Yeah.
raise. So
Would Wonka, though, not just. Why wouldn't he bump King Jack? He's crushing the ranges of everyone. Now, it turns out Hank has him in trouble, but why would he think that?
how does Hank have that good of a hand, by the way? He has the best hand. Still.
That's so
Right?
weird.
Yeah, he still has the
He's got
best
the
hand.
most equity. Must have the best hand.
And he bets it.
He's going to win.
Yeah.
How can anyone call?
He's betting it as if he had raised with intent pre-flop. He's like, I'm c-betting because I have
Well,
overpairs.
In fairness to him, he certainly can have quad fours here. He can have, I guess he can have a 4, he can have a 10, he can have all things.
He can have any 4. That's
mean,
correct.
He's the guy. He's the guy who is most likely to have a 4. Actually.
Yes, he is. He has all of the 4s in the world.
Yeah,
So that's a reason to bet, I suppose.
No
Although
one
you
else-
have to get through a lot of
you
players.
do. But no one else has the queen 4 offs.
It worked.
So as soon as Jonathan came over, it started messing?
So,
Interesting.
plus
That was a
one-
weird hand.
yeah,
That was just weird.
that was a very weird hand.
I mean, if Wonka had bumped it, probably he would have gotten. I shouldn't say he probably would have gotten a heads up. That's not how it works at this show.
No,
It
is
just
not.
would have been. It would have been crazy. Who knows what? Who knows who would have won that hand? Probably would have checked through when we get to the turn and figure it out. Marty's got a 10 and a deuce. Doyle Brunson famously won the World Series of Poker twice in a row with the 10 deuce.
That's actually just a myth.
A what?
It's a myth.
A what?
A myth.
Yeth?
Raise 45.
It's a joke. It's from the Muppet Show. All right. Thank you for coming along with that.
I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. That third.
I don't think
bit-
anybody enjoyed it.
I think Muppet Show. People who saw it's actually the Muppet movie. It's from the Muppet movie. There's a running joke in the Muppet movie. It was pretty great. Anyway, Carol Kane said yes.
Oh boy.
She played Laka's wife on Taxi.
Okay, cool.
So, all right, we got action.
Marty folded the 10 deuce.
Good job, Marty.
Yeah.
What were you doing there in the first place?
That's Marty Matrix told him to do it. Hank
And
flops open ended, and Wonka has a pair, but not a good spot.
Imagine if he hits a set. What a disaster.
That would be a real bad thing for
But
him.
when they both check to him, it feels like you kind of have to bet this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to protect, and it sucks a lot of the time, but something worth doing.
Let's see if Hank calls or puts in a little.
Oh, he
raise.
raises.
Well,
that looks like 250 to me.
it is a very wet board, but sixes is just not a good enough hand, I think, to be able to
No,
continue it.
Wonka's just going to fold this pretty comfortably, I think. He's going to take a second, get rid of it.
This hand is just, even when you're ahead, there's so many ways you lose, and by the time this all nets out, right? Jack 10, 2 hearts, 10-7, just weird stuff. By the way, sometimes you're crushed with 2 pair or top pair or 8s or 9s, whatever.
Players went on a little break there,
Couldn't
came
get it
back.
in there anyways.
They seem
What
much
do I
more
need to put a
lively
20
now.
up front?
Yeah,
Maybe they all had some Cheetos.
some maybe burritos.
Yes. Burritos?
Or with Cheetos in them.
Yeah. Also not a sponsor.
No,
Burritos, not a sponsor.
Cheetos are, though. They're not paying us anything, and they're not aware that they're a sponsor.
That's a lot of our sponsors. Nitrogen Sports, by the way, also not
Yeah.
aware that they're a sponsor.
No, they have no idea.
Ken's got a queen and a 9, and he's going to go with it. By the way, the best hand. Still the best hand all the way through.
Seriously, with the way Poker Time's been going for the past all of sessions, I suppose, I just don't bat an eye when somebody calls Queen 9 off for $50.
Right.
Just like, oh, whatever, normal.
And by the way, it's a 3-bet.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
My
Marty flopped a flush draw.
Terminator flop top 2
Yes, he did.
because somebody always flops top 2 on the Jack 6-4 board.
Terminator 3-bet with Jack 6. Whoa, and Ken calls.
Ken called?
Ken called, and Marty is going to call as well.
Wait, Ken called?
Ken called with the Queen 9. He does this sometimes. He just calls sort of out of nowhere. Well, that makes
That's
it
a
easy.
Very good card for Terminator.
Hey, look, is Marty...
Marty looks like he's going to lead.
Well, this is incredible. Look, Terminator does the
Oh,
sitting back
this
as if he's
is-
unhappy.
Anytime you see Terminator do that,
Watch out.
be careful.
Yeah. He's about to Terminator punch you in the head. I
Yes.
mean, with his cards and chips. He's going to slow play this, not surprising.
Act like he really doesn't want to put the chips in.
I mean, don't you want to give Marty every chance in the world to hang himself? He's got a pot-sized bet left. Why
Yeah.
would you raise?
Not a flush card, so that's good news for
Yeah,
Marty.
if a heart came, Marty probably goes broke. Now he doesn't
Oh, he's
have
going to
to
bluff it though, but looks like
So he
not
sizes it.
the whole stack at least. He's
Well,
only
that's
going to
really small.
lose that much.
Well, good job, Marty. At least you didn't bet at all. Of course, Terminator's never folding a jack for this much.
Terminator's going to move in, and Marty is going to act like he has a bit of a decision. That's my guess.
I hope he folds right away.
Yeah.
Let's see if Terminator actually moves him in or makes it a small. It's,
Oh, 500 only.
boy, that looks so strong.
It is so
He
strong.
doesn't even move him in. Yeah, it is so strong. It is the second nuts. You're right. Marty is taking his time. You called it with 9 high.
Maybe he's thinking, can I move in and get him to fold?
I mean, if you re-raise, it does look ultra strong, but I don't think you're going to get him to fold with any of his value range.
It's a pretty good situation for Jack 6 when you decide to take aggressive actions with Jack 6 pre-flop.
Think
and-
about how many amazing things happen there. He decides to 3-bet it. He gets called in 2 spots by hands that probably shouldn't be in there. Then on the flop, Ken overcalls with Queen 9, no pair, no draw. And on the turn, Marty, not only do you make a full house, Marty decides to start bluffing.
Yeah,
All these things contributed to making so much extra money.
it's pretty nice.
Yeah. By the way, you also decided to 3-bet Jack 6 suited, and it all worked out. Like, wow, what a parlay.
And Ken gave you some extra money both pre-flop and on the flop.
Yeah.
For
$155 extra
yeah.
than you would normally not expect. Austin plays the ace-9 off to your liking, I hope.
I liked it, yeah. King 9 suited for Batiste, but it is an under the gun raise.
But it's Terminator, so he can that matrix is wider than the Great Wall of China.
It's not that wide. It's more known for how long it is.
Pretty wide though.
As a ratio to its length, it's actually not very wide.
Well, you're saying length, but you mean width.
No, I don't. Batiste did make the call. So did Snuggie. So did Marty.
Batiste flops best.
Yep. Batiste is going to have to bet this for protection here.
Yeah, he's gonna bet, and no one has anything.
Nope.
So unless someone loses their mind, which happens all the time,
It really does.
it's going to be over. Snuggie folds. Even Marty folds. Terminator, just that's not his flop.
Is that real?
He hits the 3-outer and wins the pot.
don't call it a 3-outer. I hate that.
It was a 3-outer.
It was technically a 3-outer, but there's other ways to win the hand. I'm referencing when like people are complaining and they're like,
I wasn't complaining. I was just
no, I
being
know. I'm
accurate.
thinking about when
Yeah.
when I hear 3-outer.
Oh, yeah, the
I
way
often
people say
think
it.
I like a lot of the time it's like a guy raised pre-flop, the other guy called.
Yeah.
And the flop is jack high, and the guy with ace king loses to ace jack and acts as if it was a 3-outer.
Right. Loses like a huge
Yeah.
pot that they shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I understand that, but I wasn't saying.
Yeah, but most of the time, I don't know. I just associate the phrase 3-outer with people complaining.
Maybe consider some therapy. I don't know.
Wow.
All right, Ken.
That was like a little bit too much.
I just feel like you need someone to talk to.
I don't.
Someone who's professional.
I'm doing pretty well.
All right, Batiste here has got a really nice hand. Ken, by the way, decided to open the king 8 off +2,
Maybe I just added 9.
which is the low jack. I mean, you know, but still,
He's got almost 5K in front of him, so
why not?
he likes.
Everything always works, and hey, it worked.
Of course
again.
it does. Wow.
These guys have 2 outs to jump ahead, and that is it.
Yep.
I have a feeling everyone's just going to fold mostly. That's such a dry board.
Batiste might call because it's such a dry board and he has the best ace high.
He might. He also has Terminator behind him. Ken didn't have to bet. Ken
This
doesn't
is-
always bet.
This is among the driest of boards possible.
Yep, that is correct. King 7 deuce, Queen 7 deuce, rainbow. That's like as dry as it gets.
Yeah.
And indeed, Ken had the best hand, of course.
It's probably, I guess, if you're playing against high-level competition, you're supposed to implement more two-backdoor raises and calls on boards like that because it's so hard to have hands to continue with in general.
Right. Right. I mean, also, people often don't raise a board like that, period, because it's so hard to rep anything. You know, it goes both
Right.
ways.
It's like you're saying you have a set or nothing.
Right. Maybe 2 pair, a weird 2 pair.
You have
But
to
it's
be in
really
the,
hard to have
in the
that.
big blind or something.
Yeah, so now Batiste basically has to have 2 7s or 2 deuces, otherwise.
Yeah, I'm saying he
Yeah.
could call though because he does.
No, I understand. I hear you. Call once.
King 8 is the hand of the moment.
Not anymore. Now it's King Jack.
Now it's well, Marty's not even there.
Terminator with a pretty hand, and it's pretty cheap.
Oh, it looked like he was gonna 3-bet there for a second.
Would have been
but
cool.
He's just gonna call. Austin can fold this because it's. I think suited. He kind of has to call though.
What was it?
Is 5 deuce.
Yeah.
What were you looking at?
You know, the hand went away really fast.
It didn't.
I was looking at Austin. So here we go. It's a top pair for the Terminator.
Hank with middle pair.
He's going to check as well. A diamond would just, someone's going to steal it probably, but instead, Terminator just picks up more equity.
Probably gonna start betting now. I think Hank will call once.
Yeah.
I think he should call once.
I mean, Terminator does have lots of things that beat you, but it's okay to call once.
He also has big diamonds in his range and
Yeah.
bluffs.
No question. He's got both those things. That is not a card that's going to enable Hank to get away from anything if he's putting Terminator on a draw. Terminator would probably play a draw just like this.
Yeah,
And it's cheap. Look how small he made it.
it's a reasonable hero
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It is.
Just going to lose a lot
And it's
there.
a nice value bet by Terminator, by the way, with a weak ace high top pair.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly the kind of hand you're hoping to get called by, right? Like
Yeah.
a slightly...
Well, Hank did open, so I think a lot of the time Terminator's
pairs?
expecting, like
2
pairs,
jacks.
pairs between the 8 and the ace.
Sure. But it's sort of all the same. It all plays the same from Terminator's point
Yeah.
of view, right? But this way, I mean, he got all the way down to the 8 called him. That's
Yeah.
pretty great. But yeah, I do like that he bet twice with medium ace. Bad ace, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of players don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was clearly for value, not a bluff.
Well, also, I mean, if Terminator checks, Hank's going to bet twice for value anyway with a better ace. So it's pretty good. He gets to control the pot size, and he gets to maybe target some of those weaker hands as well that are going to check back.
Yeah,
I
but
really like that.
Hank pretty much never has an ace because he didn't c-bet the flop.
Right, but with 3 diamonds, once in a while, he might.
No, Hank is always betting an ace on that flop.
I mean, I don't know Hank well enough to say that.
Okay, I would bet a lot on
Well,
that.
I don't know if you would ever be able to prove it because Hank probably doesn't know the
I
answer to
wouldn't.
that.
I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, okay. So you'd bet a lot, and there would be no resolution. That's
Nope,
your plan.
my money would just be burned.
Austin with the limp.
Wonka's gonna do kind of a tournament play and steal Austin's limp
I don't
from
think
the
he's,
small
I think
blind.
he's just raising for value.
Yeah, I guess so.
He just feels like Queen 10 is way ahead of what Austin would be limping
I'm a little
with.
bit surprised that Austin folded the king high, but at the same point, it doesn't play well, and Wonka has not been very active.
You're out of position against the most seasoned player at the table. Why do it with King 6?
Yep.
I think it's fine. I like how they both played it. If Wonka kept doing that, not that it's ever going to fold to the small blind
I
again.
mean, that's not going to come up again.
Right.
I would bet against it coming up again in the session, and that's something we can bet on, but it's probably not going
yeah.
to.
But if Wonka was doing that with any regularity, we could come up with different plans as Austin.
Yes. That's more of a tournament thing that you have to come up with because it's
Yeah.
so much more rare, especially in a game like this, that there will ever be limp pots to small to big.
Correct.
I believe
And
this
it-
is the last hand.
Mm.
Thank you, Tatiana.
She gave a little wave.
Felt like she didn't mean it, though. Terminator. She's calling with the 4-5.
Austin with the deuces.
Kind of surprised Terminator decides to call with his hand instead of 3-bet or fold it. But I guess we've seen it before.
Terminator just, he can make a straight. He can make quads.
But Ken's going to win.
Of course Ken's going to win. Terminator has the second best hand, so that's cool for him.
Snuggie has middle pair and backdoor flush draw.
Not terrible.
Yeah, pretty good.
Austin just can't take a shot with deuces there.
Well, Snuggie makes 2 pair, and it's going to be very hard for anybody to win.
Yeah. Terminator or Austin needs to hit trips.
I think this is just going to be the end of it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's been a fun episode.
They all are, man. They
Yeah.
all are.
Come back next week for more of this crazy, crazy action session.